Welcome everybody to round 2 of CALLOUS Invitational 5. Round 1 is over and we are on to the good stuff. We have elimination matches, 8 of them in fact, and this is one of them. This is a lower bracket pairing between Felix and Fear, and this is a Tuesday game. Therefore, the loser here will be, unless you count BKC, which we're not going to talk about, but the loser here will be the first person eliminated from CALLOUS Invitational 5. It'll be one of these two players. Monthly Girls, that is Felix, who's making his CALLOUS Invitational debut, whereas Fear has played in all 5 of these. One of them will be the first person out of this tournament. Who's it going to be? Let's find out. Here's game 1 in their best of 3 as they both try to stay alive in CALLOUS Invitational 5. T-Tar lead for both, Rock Slide and a Flinch. Good start for Fear, seemingly with a CB Tar. He's going to switch at this point to Scarm, and Flygon, a Rock Resist, comes in for Monthly Girls. That's Felix. Spikes coming down again, and Spikes coming down on the other side. All the Spikes in the house. And even more Spikes, 2 layers each. Doesn't Rapid Spin into the Gar. Here's Zapdos. Fire Punch, that obviously would have toasted the 4 he had it connected, so good thing he switched. And Zapdos takes it way better at just 19%. Blissey coming in for Fear, eating a T-Bolt, 17%. And we are looking at a TSS mirror match here. Different approaches, Flygon Zapdos versus a traditional Big 5 team. But nevertheless, this is a TSS mirror match. Here's Bliss coming in and immediately roared out. Here's Gengar now, which he may be hesitant to Ice Punch with here. He wants to keep that Gar healthy. He fishes for Hypnosis. High risk, high reward. Does not get it. And gets punished for a 70% T-Bolt, which is huge. And he's going to miss Hypnosis again and die. So, I mean, that's why I think that move isn't broken. It has an opportunity cost. It has a risk. He went for it twice. When you don't hit it, you get punished. Didn't seem very broken there to me. However, there is a revenge kill with Focus Punch, so it leaves us in a 5-5 situation. Unrevealeds on both sides, one more of them belonging to Felix, with Gengar dead, nothing preventing a Rapid Spin, so he does that. And we now have a clear Spikes advantage, 3-1 for Felix, who's probably going to Rapid Spin again. So now a 3-0 Spikes advantage. Fear finds himself in a little bit of a hole now. And he's going to over-predict Toxic, which does nothing. Rapid Spin does nothing here. The damage negligible. Both of them sitting in doing actual nothing to each other. Not the most exciting content in the world. Let's just speed this up to hyper fast until we get through the segment of the battle that they hopefully don't do forever and ever. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Spikes, Toxic, Rapid Spin. Yeah, get him. There we go. Here is a Breloom. And it's going to get a Spore off. It got Whirlwinded out by the Scarm in case we didn't catch that. Felix did not switch. He just eventually got blown out. And he's going to Insta-Wake as Focus Punch comes down, but he doesn't have Drill Peck and can't stop it anyway. He's a toxic variant of Scarm. He at least gets a Spike down, but Focus Punch doesn't seem like a happy move for him. Gengar seems to be the answer for Fear, and that ain't an option anymore. So Breloom is traditionally a difficult Pokemon for TSS to deal with, and that certainly seems to be the case here as well with the Gengar down. Spore is going to happen to put the Scarm back to sleep, and I have no idea who comes in to take the Focus Punches now, but I don't think anybody's too happy about it. T-Tar is probably not a good Focus Punch switch in, kind of sort of weak to it, and Breloom hits pretty good, so T-Tar is going to, just kind of sort of barely not survive that. And it's going to be now Felix with the lead at 5-4. They both do still have a hidden poke in the back, though for TSS it's usually not too exciting. Could be like an Off-Star, an Arrow, whatever for Fear. And then could be something like a Coon or a Rachi. Yep, it is Rachi for Felix here. Hidden Power Grass, that's going to clean up the Pert. Felix back in the lead now, 4-3. Hidden Poke still in the back for Fear. And it's that Sub-Rachi that's been oh so popular in this tournament, and I don't know what its win rate is, but I feel like the vast majority of games that I see this poke this set, it wins. I feel like it's been a really good set and popular for a good reason in this tour. And we're going through the usual loop. Those are 101 HP subs based on the 404 max HP of Rachi. Therefore, S tosses to do 100. Can't break it by 1 point. And we're just repeating the obvious loop. CM up, gain lefties, sub up, CM up, repeat. Gonna once again speed this to hyper fast as they just kind of go through autopilot motions. There's not too much gameplay here, just kind of boosting up as much as possible before the Rachi has to begin attacking. Up to 4 boosts now, another sub about to come. S-Toss not breaking it, boost number 5. No, he's going to attack, T-Bolt. There's S-Toss, sub again, soft-boiled. Rachi in the red, but very boosted. T-Bolt para, but not full para. S-Toss doesn't break it. Hidden power grass. What is this, the Kurtz set again? Substitute. Yep. Rachi soft-boiled. Blissey soft-boiled. Toxic and soft-boiled now. T-Bolt crit. S-Toss. That's a dead Bliss, and we might be done here. Back to normal speed. Here's the meta coming in, but Rachi very boosted and still behind a sub. And yep, T-Bolt's just going to kill it. And that's got to be the game, right? I mean, somehow I suspect Scum won't survive Thunderbolt here. It does not. And Felix behind this Rachi, which like I said, seems to have like a 100% win rate in this tour, is going to take game 1. Fear 1 game from being eliminated first from CALLOUS Invitational 5. We'll have to rattle off 2 consecutive victories against Felix in order to avoid that fate. So here's game 2. We'll switch those sides for continuity. Monthly girls, that's Felix on the bottom, Fear on the top. Both of them stay in with their leads, which are Medicham and Zapdos, respectively. And they both do hefty damage to each other, but neither one kills. Zapdos is faster and has the edge. And it BPs here to Dugtrio on Celebi, getting it with HP Bug. Survives the Giga Drain back, and that is a dead Celebi to the next HP Bug. Fear with the early advantage. Gengar going to be the follow-up here, and Fear is going to leave Dugtrio in to die. Over prediction Will-O-Wisp happening for monthly girls, that's Felix. Hidden Power Bug again. Will-O-Wisp good enough this time, and one more turn, and the Dugtrio will succumb to its burn. Fear does not think it's worth it to keep it as fodder. He's just going to let it go, and down goes the Dugtrio. So, 5-5 situation with a bazillion unreveals early on in this battle. We end up with Steel Psychic on Steel Psychic, but only for a moment as the Rachi switches out. Earthquake comes down, blanking on Zapdos, who immediately BPs out. We see a Coon, and that gets Meteor Mashed here. No sand from either guy yet, so all this bulky stuff, the Coon, the Rachi, yeah, it's all going to be, and the Bliss, of course, it's all going to be real bulky, especially the Coon and the Bliss, since they really appreciate no sand in play, so they get actual lefties. Coon is on the clock with Toxic, but it probably has rest, and there it is. Meta comes in immediately on the rest turn, threatens to blow up. Sleep Talk comes down, but whiffs, and it is just Meteor Mash, which is nothing, 14%. And there's Fear playing around a boom that doesn't come. He tries to predict the exact turn, but he's not correct. Now he goes to Coon, and it's just Felix Meteor Mashing over and over again. Multiple times into pressure Pokemon, so those mashes are running low on PP, but ultimately the Metagross will boom at some point. Now Gengar is going to come in, going to go for T-Bolt. Doesn't do that much because the Coon is at +1. Now at +2 after finding Calm Mind in his sleep. He is due to wake up this turn. T-Bolt now only doing 19%, not that exciting, and the Surf obviously way more at 72%. But Gengar might blow, and that's what Fear plays around. It's actually Destiny Bond instead, but either way, switching as opposed to attacking is the right play if you're Fear. And he's now going to go for Thunder and get rewarded with a 60-40 para on the Bliss. Hidden Poke still abound for both of them. Toxic landing on Coon, but we know that it's a Crow Coon, so it doesn't really care about the status effect. There's Gar, hit with Surf, but there's no sand in play, so it's going to survive at 4% and get its lefties. T-Bolt does a lot. And obviously Fear is not going to trade here. He's going to go for the rest and preserve his Coon, which is the right play. Don't know that I love staying in and eating the T-Bolt, but he does get rewarded with the Insta-Surf in his sleep, which is what he was looking for. So he's going to get the knockout and find himself up 5-4. Focus Punch coming down on Rachi. Medicham hits like a truck with pure power. 77% to the Rachi is a lot. And the best it can do is Ice Punch against the Bliss. Is a 20% freeze chance, but who cares against Natural Cure? And as it turns out, doesn't find it anyway. Seismic Toss leaves Jirachi one hit from death. Fishes one more time for a 20% freeze. Does not get it and dies, and it leaves us in a 4-4 situation as a previously unrevealed Loom comes in. Spore, and that's going to bring out the last poke for Felix, so his full team is revealed. Still a hidden poke in the back for Fear, however. Hidden Power, presumably Bug there, which would have been super effective against Starmie, but is neutral against the Gar, or against the Metagross rather. Alternatively, it could be HP Ghost, which would be something that hits a Gar and makes it so the Breloom does not have to rely on Pursuitar, which as of now Fear doesn't seem to have. It would make a lot of sense on his team though with Pursuitar as the last. It removes Gar for Coon, it removes Gar for Breloom. You have the Pursuitar, potentially Mach Punch synergy to deal with Dugtrio if the Breloom has Mach. Who knows? We're never going to see it. Felix is going to concede, doesn't think he can beat the Coon. And if this is a non-boom meta, which I'm not sure, it showed EQ, Meteor Mash, Protect, then he really, really can't beat the Coon. If it is a boom meta, he's got a shot, though I think Fear is very unlikely to allow that to happen. That might have been a slightly premature concession for Felix, but I don't know. But like I said, if it's a non-boom meta, he was never beating the Coon, so maybe it wasn't premature. Either way, it sends us to a Game 3. The loser of this next game will be eliminated, will be the first person eliminated from CALLOUS Invitational 5, and the winner, of course, will go on to Round 3, 1-1 still in the lower bracket, and living to fight another day. So let's see who it is. Who is the first person to get the boot from CALLOUS Invitational 5? Is it the first-timer Felix, Monthly Girls, or the veteran who's played all 5 of these, Fear? Let's find out right here, right now. Here's Game 3. Monthly Girls for the third and final time. That's Felix. He's on the bottom with T-Tar. Fear on the top, also with T-Tar. One of them stays, one of them doesn't. There's an Earthquake. It hits Swampert. Skarm comes in for both players. And they're going to spike up. Neither one trying to taunt each other or get cute. Both just going for spikes. 2 layers each. Probably going to see all 3 for both. Yep. And the faster one belongs to Fear, who's gonna get the jump with the Roar, and that's gonna prompt out Swampert again. No new information revealed. Has to step on all 3 layers. Goes for Protect there. Doesn't want to be hit with Toxic, so out he goes. And good Roar prediction there for Fear, getting rid of the Gengar, the Toxic immunity that came in. Unfortunately, he did blow out a Rapid Spinner, and he's going to do exactly that. And now those Roars are not that exciting, since nothing's coming in on spikes anymore. Gengar reappears, and 1 layer does get reestablished, but now Skarm has to think twice about staying in. And Fear has opted once again for a simple Skarm Bliss team, opting to keep it safe. Will-O-Wisp happening on the Bliss here. She's already down to 2/3. Gengar is going to go back. T-Tar comes in. There's an Ice Beam, probably anticipating something like a taunt from the Gar that did not come. Now the Blissey at half, but the T-Tar is going to pull it back. And it's going to be Gengar on Swampert now. See if there's an HP Grass, or if he just goes Will-O-Wisp. Pulls it back to Skarm. And Protect just in case he does try something like an HP Grass. Gonna Protect again, so double lefties coming for Fear. Toxic gets shown for Monthly Girls, which I think the Protect was obvious there, so I don't know why you would show Toxic. But it is what it is. He's going to opt for Roar, and that's going to prompt out a poke that is not weak to spikes in a previously unrevealed Zapdos for Fear. So now they both have 1 hidden poke in the back. Thunderbolt there is something Skarm obviously doesn't want to eat, and its last poke Bliss, unsurprisingly for Felix. It is now him bringing the traditional Big 5 TSS team. Very innovative. Here is T-Tar and Soft Boiled respectively. T-Tar is not gaining leftovers for Fear of note. And that Rock Slide is going to do a 3rd to Skarm on the way in. Protect and Rock Slide again. Not clear if this is a Choice Bander or simply a Lumberry holder. Going to go for Rock Slide and miss on the Pert, but the presence of the Pert should deter him from staying in here, and indeed out he goes. Roar happening here, bringing out Dugtrio, so full team revealed for both guys. Dugtrio taking free damage here, and obviously not going to be able to stay in against the Swampert. Felix plays it uber safe and goes Earthquake just in case Dougie tries to get cute. but that's going to enable a free switch into the Skarm, who is, of course, immune to the Earthquake. Will-O-Wisp missing there on Pert, potentially relevant for Felix. That's lame, especially if it's a non-refresh Pert. That definitely could have mattered. We've seen Surf Protect, so I mean, it could be a mono Pert. We don't know. Well, he sure's Toxic, so that makes me think the last move is, in fact, Refresh, and it is a mono Pert. But it still could be last move Roar. But it does look like a mono Pert, so it could be last move Refresh, like I said. So maybe the Will-O-Wisp miss wasn't the biggest deal in the world. Lands Toxic on Bliss, and then over-predicts going for Toxic again. And here comes Skarm, which doesn't care if it gets hit with Toxic. I don't know why Fear's going for that. What is he trying to catch? I mean, the Gengar and the Skarm both give no fucks, and obviously Felix is not going to walk in his own Swampert or the T-Tar to the Toxic Pert. It's just something that's never going to happen, so I don't really understand the Toxic spam from Fear. Nevertheless, a couple switches later, we have Tower on Bliss. Here's a Focus Punch incoming. 46%. Pretty good chip damage. This is a lefty's Pert, lefty's Tar, so we can switch up his move if he wants, but he goes Focus Punch again. So 3 layers versus 2 of Spikes. Fear having more beneath his team. Drill Peck trying to break a Focus Punch, but that is not what he gets. There's the Rock Slide kill for the first knockout of the game on turn 35. Going to quickly be revenge killed, and we've got ourselves a 5-5. Gengar coming in as the follow-up to Dugtrio. There is still the Bliss on the other side, but she's at only half pre-attack. Now she's at 42% as she comes in on Ice Punch. Will there be an explosion? There is Will-O-Wisp and Sing, respectively. Gengar not captivated by the singing voice of Blissey. Manages to avoid that. Pulls it back. And Sing happening again. Swampert also unimpressed. Blissey should not try out for American Idol. She is not a good singer. And there is Earthquake coming down. Blissey's struggling here. She's in the red and she's burnt. She's trying. These Earthquakes doing 37%, which is not that exciting. The problem is the burn. She's right back where she started at 19%. Fear seems really in trouble here. Pushed it too often with the Bliss and couldn't land those things. And it feels like Bliss is going to die here, whether it's now or later to the Spikes. But it doesn't seem like the Blissey is savable here. Trying to get as much PP out of his opponent as possible before she dies, which is fine and well. But she is going to die, and that's going to be a real issue. That's going to open up the Gar and the Starmie. There's really no special wall for Fear once the Blissey goes down. I think Felix is in a good position in this game. Zapdos is at 100%, so I mean, it could act like a makeshift special wall, but if it's an offensive Zap, that's just not going to be able to come into like Off-Star Ice Beams or Gengar Ice Punches or what have you. Fear might really be in trouble now. His Blissey died, so we'll see how it plays out. Maybe Fear has to just change gears and play completely aggressively to try to get out of this game. Man, there's an Ice Beam crit and kill. Fear going to lose his Zapdos, and it's going to be 3-5 here. Felix is just really, really, really in a good position in this game. I mean, it ain't over, but it is just not going Fear's way. Rock Slide miss is going to just make it that much worse. Here's the Dugtrio follow-up. This will kill Blissey, presumably, but he's got only 2 pokes left against all 4 from Felix. I don't know how you beat Gengar or the Toxic Skarm or whatever at this point. Here comes the Ice Punch. Sure, 19%. That part's not a big deal. Will-O-Wisp and Surf. Yup. Like I said, I think this is a refresh Pert, but yet to be officially confirmed. And there's Boom. Down that goes. That's going to end it. There's no chance the Dugtrio can beat this combination of Pokemon. And Rock Slide, sure, but that'll never beat the Pert. I mean, or the Skarm, realistically, but it'll really never beat the Pert. Man, Fear is a really, really good player, and like I said, he's played in all 5 of these CALLOUS Invitationals, but he is going to be the first player eliminated this year. Getting a million flinches here, but man, where were those hacks earlier? Doesn't need them now. Too little, too late. Just got to see how many turns it takes to make it official, but Fear has lost this game one way or another. And turn 61 ends up being the answer. Monthly Girls Felix is going to survive. He is not going to be an 0-2 bust in his first Callous Invitational. Instead, it is going to be the veteran Fear going out as the first eliminated player this year. Not going to rag on him in any way. He's one of my absolute favorite players and favorite people. I really, really like the guy. Longtime friend, someone I respect deeply and would pay loads of money for to have on my SPL team. Fear is awesome. It just so happens this event didn't go his way. Could have been anybody. He just chose to play on Tuesday. But for purposes of the survey, for those of you who answered Fear, will be the first player eliminated, which I think is like 1 or 2 people tops who said that it would be Fear. You're right. You got that question right. Anyhow, guys, lots and lots and lots more content still to come. We are very early on in this tournament. This is just the beginning of round 2. So, if you've been enjoying what you've seen, hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel, join the Discord server, link in the description, and if you want, you can donate to this tour, make our already awesome prize pool even bigger and better. We're real close to hitting 2K. It would be awesome to pay $1,000 to the winner. You can help make it happen. Anything helps. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video.